It's late too. Dirt off your shoulder. Man, I'm trying out this new phone. You got the iPhone 14 coming in HD, a little too HD because as you can see, I got a boop, pimple. It's crazy, man. I'll get some of the most random pimples on my face out of nowhere at the most unexpected times, and it always stands out. Like there's no way that I can avoid it. It's just like when my pimples come, there's like no, we're gonna make this extremely noticeable. It's good, Kev. We got Ethan up in the building. Gen Z is almost 30 years old. Damn. Are they? Gen Z is? I don't see how. Well, who is it? Copio, brother. I hope you get through whatever you're doing, man. Based off that comment, I can't necessarily say it out loud, but, you know, there's more to life than doing that, man. You'll be fine. 1996 to 2012 is 1996 Generation Z? I guess so. Yeah. 1996 would be the oldest. Interesting. Somebody said, "What's good, man? Your lips are looking tasty." Yeah, y'all got to get off that. Get off the fruity stuff, all right? But as I was saying, do you got any tips on how to become a better person? The way to become a better person is to, if I had to say, would be gaining more insight about the world and how the world operates and how you can operate in the world and leverage the benefits to the world. Once you understand that, you become more aligned and more confident in oneself and your fitness too, like what I'm doing right now. I'm in the gym. I lost 20 pounds today. And when I tell you that 20 pounds makes a considerable difference in how you feel, especially if you are heavier and over the weight of what you're supposed to be at, it makes a tremendous difference. And I noticed the difference between how I feel, how I think. So fitness is crucial too, because it goes hand in hand. You got to feed the mind and you got to feed the body. So when you're in the right state of mind and you're in the right state of fitness, everything just falls in place. It says, can you just shout out the immigrant from Dixie Myers? He's a huge fan. Hey, shout out to Dixie Myers. I think that's how you pronounce it. He said word for word. And then they said, what do you mean pre-recorded? It's definitely not pre-recorded. Try to be positive in every situation. Yeah, man, you got to be positive. But a lot of a lot of the things that people end up being hopeless about is because due to them feeling as though there's no other answer and solution, and that you have to be put into a box that society has created for yourself. And I'm here to tell you, you do not have to fit the mold of what society tells you you should do. And in most cases, what society is telling you you should do and follow the masses are leading themselves to a burning building where you yourself will all die inside of it. So you gotta, you really gotta tap in and understand your goals and understand that there's always hope and that you serve a purpose in this life. Everybody does. And if you didn't, you wouldn't be here, basically. So, whatever you're going through, I wouldn't even sweat it. There's so much more important things uh, that we could be doing that people waste their times focusing on the wrong things, like such as like politicians, for example, like running towards the politicians, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they're going to be your savior. No, they're not going to do anything for you. Nobody's going to look out to your best interest better than you can. So you got to do what's best for you. You know yourself. You do that, you'll be fine. Don't I wouldn't even trip. Just like with me. I got on camera. You think I'm happy that I got a pimple on my face right now? I mean, and it's noticeable too. Like it's not even something that I can conceal, and somehow the the camera quality can mask it. No, it is very obvious that I have a pimple on my face. You think that's going to stop me from going to the gym and stop me from doing what I need to do and getting on camera? Absolutely not. Because I'm going to address this later. Okay, me and this pimper are going to go to war, and I guarantee you, I'm going to be the one who wins at the end of the day. This is how do you notice you're focusing on the right things? Well, you could look at the end outcome and the results that you get from it, you gather from it. I mean, at the end of the day, everything's a test and trials and tribulation. Did everything you have to test it and see if it works. And even if it doesn't work, you test it from multiple angles and then you find other solutions. Everything about life is not conclusive and absolute. You have certain things that are absolute, and then other things you're just going to have to learn off of experience. And you can't be afraid to bump your head. And that's one of the things that school taught you is that if you get an F or you get a D or a D minus, that you're a failure. That's not how life works. especially in the world of entrepreneurship. If anything, you want to get a D immediately, as quickly as possible, so that you can learn from the mistakes and see what you can fix and fine tune, and you will eventually get an A and you'll master it. But the whole concept of how they condition you, as far as you got to get an A, you got to be so correct, is BS, because that's not how life works. I mean, I'm constantly tinkering with things and seeing things that didn't work, and then now I pivot and change to something else. So that's what's most important at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And we got to get out of that mode and thinking that, oh, I failed. Woe's me. No, you didn't fail. You learned. You definitely learned, and it gives you an opportunity to learn, because if you don't experience it quickly, it's going to be more detrimental to you later down the line. So it's best that you get it out the way, fail now, and then learn to adapt in the moment. That's what you need to do. But failing is definitely an important part of the growth process. As much as what people tell you, oh, you got to win. It's all about the successes. Lies. You better fail. Because I'm telling you right now, there's so many different things that people are BSing with you, and they don't tell you the whole story about the so many failures that they had to go through in order to get to where they're at. And that's the thing that I don't like about the online spaces. They tell you all the glitz and the glamours, but they make sure to glare over the trials and tribulations of what it takes. And a lot of this times it takes time, it takes testing, it takes failure, it takes uh, several different methodologies that you're going to go through, and you're going to be very diverse within your interest levels. Don't get into this mode of thinking that it has to be right every single time, and it just doesn't. I mean, find one goal, stick to that goal, see if it works out, see what the outcome is, and then um, adapt from there and uh, iterate as you go on with the process. And that's what everything in life. Even with this, me working out in the gym, this took time for me to put this program together and test with my body and see what adapts and what ranges respond better, and what diet and what how many calories. All of this is just testing. I mean, enjoy the exploration process to explore, but don't go too far off the deep end too, because you can explore too far to the point where you're lost. Now it's like, okay, you still need a compass, all right. You still need some form of compass to give you some type of direction, but test it, and repeat the process over and over and over again, and you'll eventually figure it out. It's not going to take long. But yeah, that's the best advice I can give you. Like I said, this pimple right here, which would be the main center attention and attraction of this live stream right now, best believe I had to figure this out. Okay. And so trust me, the next time I go live, this thing right here, this monstrous looking uh, uh, galaxy that's growing on my cheek right here, oh, it's going to be disintegrated. Best believe. Somebody said, he said, off the deep end, like unicorns and rainbows. You got it. He says, have you ever seen two cans of corn stacked? I don't think so. But yeah, so like I said, it was amazing. Like I put it into the app, and your accomplishments too. Like when you set goals for yourself and you hit your goals, when I got that congratulations on my fitness tracking app called My Fitness app, or My Fitness Pal, I should say. And I saw the celebration to let me know that I lost 20 pounds and I'm 55% of my goal. Um, that's rewarding. That means that your hard work is paying off, especially when you're reaching your goals. That's a big motivator, is to set goals for yourself and get yourself prepared and track your progress. Because tracking is super duper important. And I think that's like that's like a gem, a hidden gem that people don't tell you, is your before and after tracking it of where you were today versus where you are a month from now, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. When you start to pay attention to that, you really get to see a full scale of your progress. It's just maybe a little bit of cereal on the floor. He said, just pop that thing. I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out. Hey man, I can't help but notice it when I'm on camera and I'm looking at myself the entire time. So I can't help it. It's there. Especially with all these glaring lights right now. It says, did you think a year from now you'll see 2 cans of corn stacked? Or how about 2 beans? Nah, man, I can't say that that's something that crossed my mind to think of 2 cans of corn stacked. No, that's not something that came into my psyche at all. But yep. So I'm just finishing up this workout. This is a late workout. I was really supposed to get out here early because I really got off track. Because over the weekend I went and celebrated my guy's wedding, even though he already had his wedding last year. But this was like kind of like the reception. So I got it, kind of got off track, got myself prepared for that, and now it feels good to get back into the swing of things because I went on a little diet break for like 2 or 3 days, and now we are back on track to my regular program. I gained like probably about 3 pounds of like water weight, which was to be expected because I went over the amount of calories that I was supposed to eat. So it's cool. It gave me mental clarity, a diet break for a second to clear my mind and readjust. And that's another thing. Sometimes you gotta rush your mind from what you're doing. Take some set some time to yourself and gather your thoughts to get back on track. That's another thing that's important. Because when you just go, 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 you're gonna drive yourself insane. Like you need to at some point take a mental break, step back, 2 steps back in order to take 2 or 3 steps forward. That's another thing that's important. It's good to be in the zone, but sometimes you got to self reflect and give your mind a chance to breathe so that you can come back fresh with a new perspective and you'll be able to see things clearer. Especially back when I used to do like graphic design, I'd be staring at my screen for hours and hours, and it would be hard for me to really see any progress because I've been looking at the same screen for so long. And one of the things that I learned was you just got to step away and stop looking at the screen. Look at something else, give you something else of inspiration to clear your thoughts, to give you some more um, mental juices flowing. Sometimes you can focus too much on the goal and it stunts your progress because you're overly focused on it. You should allow life and other elements in life to give you some level of inspiration. It could be from music, it could be from watching a movie, it could be watching a podcast, listening to a podcast, seeing something on TV. you know. So, you just got to look at the landscape of life. Like it really comes down to the perspective because you got people that have very, very dark thoughts of how they look at the world, and then you have others that have a very optimistic and they can see the beauty in it. And I would suggest you have a more abstract and see the rich fabric of life, and don't get over consume yourself with like sensationalized media, because one thing about media is they're just going to give you the problem. Like it's always going to be a problem. But one thing they're never going to give you is the solution of how to fix it. They're always going to promote the problem. Oh, we're in inflation and the housing rates and interest rates is going up and blase blase. But they'll never tell you, okay, so how do I navigate to so that I don't have to be succumb to the problem. They're never going to tell you that. But there's always a solution to that problem. That's the crazy part. But they don't tell you that. They're always going to make it seem like, give you the bloom and gloom. And that's the thing that it'll really play with your psyche and have you thinking that life is just really hopeless. What's the point? Everything's rigged, so to speak. But no, you really are the author. You can really determine how you want your life to be. You are the sculptor, you are the painter, you are the writer, director, designer. It's really up to you how you want your life to turn out. How do you want this to be painted? Do you want to be remembered? When they pass away, do you want something written on your gravestone? I mean, what type of impact do you want to give to society? That's just what's really important, is to really know your why, your how, and what. You do that, you'll be good. So I don't want to get on here for too long because it's already 3 o'clock in the morning, and I gotta get up out of here, and I gotta finish this workout. So I'll talk to y'all in the next one, man. Y'all be smooth. It's gonna be more content coming. Don't don't worry, it's coming. So y'all be smooth. I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Peace.